Dubs down, Ducks up, and into the college football playoffs. Welcome into the Dick Handed Dealerships Postgame Scoreboard show. Coming off of a Ducks victory over University of Washington, 26-14. I'm Joe Fisher III. Across the foam marble table, Jordan Schultz.
Hell yeah. Very excited Duck fan right now, sir.
And across the glass, Brandon Henson. We got you for the next hour and a half as the Ducks finish their regular season up in Seattle with a win. Not just any win. The final win of their regular season to go to 11-1, and it's always great. It's always great when you can beat the Huskies. In the final score, 26-14 in this one. So many things to get to and to talk about. Jordan, Brandon, everybody out there, if you're joining, thank you. You can tune in here on the radio, 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app. We are also on YouTube. You can text into the program, 503-864-6326, or jump on the YouTube chats. But, I just want to start, first and foremost, Jordan, this team always seems to find a different way to win a game. What's been known as a team that is going to be able to run the ball on you all day long, that was not the case today. Credit to Washington. They did an amazing job of stopping and honing in and selling out on stopping the running backs. You even alluded to it in Sports Saturday. Maybe get Dante running a little bit more, as much as he doesn't like to do that. It was needed at times.
No kidding.
And he was able to show out with his arm, make some huge passes throughout the game, and especially one down the stretch to Malik Benson. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they were getting gashed a little bit in the run game. Adam Muhammad was having a great game for Washington, 7.5 yards per carry. But what they did do was lock down Damon Williams, had him running for his life the entire game, and held him to a season low in passing yards. Again, it seems like every week the Ducks do it differently, but what they do is they end up getting the dub.
Absolutely. Huge dub, huge point of this season, and they get it done against Washington, which in the career for Dan Lanning at Oregon, I think, is something that you got to pay attention to. So excited on all fronts there. And frankly, Joe, I think this is the most physical game against Washington. I said it to you before the show that I've ever seen Oregon play.
There were some pads popping.
That was insane. Usually you're used to the high-flying, Pac-12 super fast receivers, a lot of read option, which we did actually see again from Oregon today with Dante Moore running it a little bit. But, man, just the physicality of these two teams, you could really tell that not only did both teams really want this, but both have, I would say, we can agree that they have fully transitioned into Big Ten football style of play, right? Like just that big bruising up front style or open field tackles where you talk about the pads popping, Joe. That's what I heard a lot today. And frankly, for a game that was a little droll at times score-wise, that for me made it a little more exciting. And then as far as Oregon's offense goes, a little frustrated, but honestly, you understand what Washington does on defense, right? They're one of the better teams in all of college football limiting the run, and I don't remember when Oregon was held to just over 100 yards rushing last. Credit to them for sure, but also credit Oregon's offense, Dante Moore doing what he needs to do, staying composed again. We can talk about, he did get fooled a couple of times today, maybe a couple of concerns going into the college football playoff, but overall, almost 300 yards again, a big touchdown pass to Malik Benson in the second half. There were just a lot of positives on Oregon's end, and then I think the biggest positive, Joe, the freaking defense for the Ducks, man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a kicker.
Oh, no, Attica Zappington's great. We can talk about it, but honestly,
Yeah.
I don't get too high on a guy or give a bunch of guys like flowers.
Career long, 51-yarder, baby.
All right, yeah, hit 60. Then I'll start getting excited. That was awesome. It was a big field goal in the vacuum of today, but whatever.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
I know. They're kicker. He's going to the NFL. No, he's not. He can't kick very far. But today it was really good. But Oregon's defense, Joe, my goodness, what a performance, man. Offense-wise for Washington, when they can get going, that's when they hit their receivers. That's when Damon Williams is able to, even without the running back today, it actually had to be Muhammad, the other guy, Adam Muhammad, running for 100 yards. Even without Coleman getting out and doing what he normally does, Damon Williams basically has his receivers to go to, and outside of a couple of touchdowns that you kind of understand that that's how Washington scores. Credit to Oregon's defense for, one, always keeping Damon Williams on the run, and two, really just playing that smash mouth style of football I was just talking about and containing what is, when they get on, a very high-flying offense. So lots of different things to dive into, Joe, but just super proud of Oregon in all facets of the game today.
Yeah, again, the passing defense we've seen at different times throughout the year show out. I think last week was a step back, just considering the quarterback and the pieces that were playing against USC. But they definitely held Damon Williams in that pass game in check all day. And even when you take the touchdown passes into consideration, both of them happened on fourth down. I mean, that's just, basically a 50-50 shot who's going to win that down. And Washington was able to win both of those to put up their 2 touchdowns of the game. And to make it interesting at the end, where it was 19-14, and then immediately the Ducks took the life right out of Husky Stadium when Dante Moore was able to hit Malik Benson for a 64-yard catch and run where he turned on the Jets, just bolted through the defense, jumped through a couple last defenders, and then met up in the end zone with his teammates to make the score 26-14, which was your final. Also, good teams win, great teams cover.
Hey,
That's
love
a
it.
cover, baby.
And Joe
That's
and
a
I
cover.
both bet that the Ducks were going to cover today. And definitely credit to Malik Benson. The last 2 weeks, I think we've seen.
We brought it up last week,
Yeah.
man. I mean, he's had to step up. And, I remember before the season started reading a CBS article about players around the nation that basically had to make that jump and had to have an impact. Like, Carson Beck was one of them. I believe there was a defensive player on Alabama, a few other guys. But one of those players on that list was Malik Benson.
Guys that have had multiple stops, right?
Yeah,
It's something when you haven't performed in Alabama land, Florida State land. No, I'm genuinely surprised that Oregon took a chance on him hearing that kind of story, Joe. But then you see this type of production and they just knew that they could finally get it out of him. And yeah, it took Gary Bryant Jr., it took DeCorian Moore going down, but goodness gracious, the Ducks are getting all the juice out of that orange that they can. And Malik Benson is getting hot at the right time. The last 2 weeks, amazing with that punt return for touchdown, and then into his best performance of the season yardage-wise with that big tutty that looked like a punt return for touchdown, man.
Shades of last week.
Yeah, that speed is huge going into the postseason for Oregon, and it's something that they have just gotten at the wide receiver spot in the last half decade. It's just something new for Oregon.
Yeah, it was a great overall win. Definitely plenty of things to clean up on the offensive side of the ball. We saw some drops from Sadiq. We saw some missed passes from Dante Moore early on in the game. But it also did seem like when this team needed to make a big third down conversion, they made it through the air multiple times, including on that last touchdown to Malik Benson, the 64-yarder. Dante Moore, 20 of 29, 286, 1 touchdown. It's one of those where, you just see him operate throughout the day, and obviously a big chunk of those yards, 64 of them, came on one play. But you look up at the end of it, and you're like, holy crap, he threw for 286 yards, touchdown, no picks. I mean, I don't think he, again, got sacked today, if my memory
No, he
serves
did.
me.
He got sacked, actually. That's a couple of things that I did want to talk to Anthony Newman about. One was it was a cornerback blitz, where essentially they just sent the guy from the end and the safety picked up the wide receiver for Washington.
Yeah, 2 sacks for Washington.
Dante didn't even see him. So, yes, it was a good game overall from him, but there were a couple...
Oh, that's right on the end there.
Yeah,
he got crushed.
There were a couple of points that the defense kind of... They figured out how to fool Dante Moore. You give him a look, and then, nope, you act like you're doing something, and then you do something else. Dante Moore hasn't figured that out every time, so that's a little concerning, but hey, that only happened a couple of times today. So yeah, minimal sacks, you're right. Most of the time, Joe, to your point...
I'm so used to seeing Damon Williams get sacked that I forgot about Dante getting sacked.
I mean, they only sacked him, 4 times this year compared to 10 last year.
Exactly.
So, come on!
Only 4.
I'm kidding.
Now
I'm
the
kidding.
average over the last 2 years has come down to 7 sacks.
What
per
are you
game.
doing?
Yeah, come on. But the Ducks, they get the win today, 26-14. Always a great feeling beating Washington under any circumstances. As you mentioned, this is a great feeling for Dan Lanning, not just beating Washington, but the first time beating Washington in Washington when they made that road trip up there a couple of years ago. They were not able to get the win up there. And then obviously the season after that, 2 straight losses to them, and then was able to get his first win against Washington last year. But this is the first time that Dan Lanning has traveled up to Washington to get that dub as the Ducks win their rivalry game 26-14.